Yeah, go ahead.
All right, take it
Well,
away.
hey, y'all. There's really nothing that you don't know about me at this point. Even the fact that I just left the movies with my family. And I'm glad that y'all were on and y'all got to hear that because I thought for so long, in my 9 years with Plexus, I thought for so long I couldn't have both. And what I mean by that is motherhood and a Plexus career. I just thought there is no balance, but you can create balance. And so I'm gonna back up and then tell you how I got to this like joyful, happy place that I'm in now in my Plexus business because your girl was not there. All right. Let's back up. I'm actually gonna back you way up. Like let's go back like 15 years actually. So back then the Emily pre Plexus had no friends, was considered an adulterer and a liar, had filed for divorce at the age of 21. My own mother basically disowned me. And if y'all follow me, you know me and my mama are like this. And she was like, go on, get like, I don't know you. She was very disappointed in my actions. I was disappointed in my actions. I was borderline alcoholic and had nothing going for me until God, obviously, He has a huge role in my redemption. And what happened was, just get this, where I was being a heifer, where I was at in my life, my aunt and uncle got relocated from the church that they were pastoring at. They got relocated. He was on staff in Nebraska and got relocated to the city where I was acting a fool. Out of everywhere in the entire world, that's where they got relocated. So she calls up my mama and she's like, where's she at? And she's like, I don't know if you can get a hold of her. Like, this is the last phone number I had for her. Like, you guys, just so you know, like, I didn't talk to anybody. Like, I was just kind of like a nomad. I bartended occasionally. Like, I just made really awful choices. And my aunt invited me to a women's Bible study. And I, of course, was like, no, thank you. And she was like, please, 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 just go to this woman's Bible study. I'm like, that's the last place I want to go. Like, I want to run for the hills when you invite me anywhere near Jesus right now. And I was really comfortable in all the bad decisions I was making. And my aunt, again, was very consistent. Said, please come to this Bible study. You guys are going to die. You want to know what the name of the Bible study was? You're going to die. Diamond in the Rough. It gives me goosebumps every time I tell this story because I I'll never forget going to that Bible study, which is actually about self worth and discovering your self worth through Jesus and who he says you are. And I needed that. And my aunt knew that. She knew I was so like she knew I knew who the Lord was, but I was so lost. And I'm not trying to preach to y'all, like this is literally my story. And I went to this Bible study for 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, the Holy Spirit totally convicted my heart. And it was like I wasn't blind anymore. Like I was like, oh, what I'm doing is very wrong. And I shouldn't do this anymore. And I should probably call my mom and I should probably get out of this really bad relationship and go back to my husband that I actually didn't never divorce. And so I did. On the couch for 24 hours, cried my eyes out because it was like a realization of the last 18 months of my life and all the bad things I was doing. And I emailed Scott, my now husband. You can't see him because my background's blurred, but we've been together. We never got divorced. Just fun fact, in case you were wondering. He's a good man. That's what I'm writing a book about our love story, and that's like a whole other story. But he's so awesome, and he's like he would make Nicholas Sparks cry. Like he's like the best guy ever. Okay, it's just such a good. He's such. I know you're such a good husband, and I love telling the story in front of my kids because I want them to know how awesome their dad is. Anyways, we'll get to play. Um, never filed for divorce. Emailed him. He basically said, "Change your last name. You don't deserve it." And then obviously took me back, reproposed, asked my mom, I think it's time for my wife to come live with her husband. He pursued me. And the miracle in the whole story is actually he found the Lord during all this. So that's the cool part. Because of this guy, because of him, I was introduced to a girl in the military who was using Plexus. I already knew about Plexus. Y'all know, ever heard of a diamond named Melissa Horse? Okay. I was already introduced to Plexus. His sisters went to high school with Melissa. And I was like, good for y'all, not for me. Just like total Plexus hater, network marketing hater. I made fun of everybody on the internet. I just was a very bitter person. I had to get over myself, right? So for 18 months, I said no. For 18 months, I ran bleachers, ate like a rabbit, and then I would binge eat at night. We have Whataburger here in Texas. So I would go to Whataburger at 11 p.m. with my baby in the back seat. And that's what I did during his deployment. Meanwhile, he deployed more than I got to see him. So he was in the Marine Corps when I joined Plexus of July 4th, 2014. I was about, oh gosh, Sterling's 9 now. So he was like 6 or 7 months old. He had never met his daddy. And Scotty came home from Afghanistan, and I had signed up for Plexus, and really just to be skinny. Like, I didn't know what health was. I thought probiotics were for old people. I really just didn't know what I didn't know. And my OBGYN, God love her, she was like, Emily, you ignorant, stubborn girl, you have got to get on a probiotic. Quit coming to see me for every yeast infection. Quit coming to see me when you're bloated. Like, girl, like, take care of your lady business and take care of yourself. And I was like, all right. Okay. Insert Plexus. Gut health, as people were calling it. And I was like, seriously, are all y'all 75 on the inside? Like, what's this gut health? I literally thought it was for old people. Didn't want it. Didn't think I fell into the category of needing it. I was wrong, right? Yep. Okay. I was wrong. I happily admit that now. Started the triplex combo, and get this. Plexus didn't even send me the right order. I was on Slim Accelerator, which is now reformulated to MetaBurn, but I was on Slim Accelerator and BioCleanse for 2 weeks before I realized I was on the triplex. And anyways, I get my ProBio 5, and that is when I call it Plexus Magic, because that is when my life changed. For the first time in almost 5.5 years, I didn't have a yeast infection. And for 5.5 years, I felt gross. Doctors couldn't tell me what was wrong. They just told me that I wasn't compatible with my husband intimately, and then I was just gonna have to learn to live with it. No one told me it was rooted in candida. Nobody told me it had to do with my diet. Nobody told me any of that. Nobody told me it was my birth control. Like, not one doctor. It was the first time I'd ever learned about candida, and I was just like, what? What? I thought it was STD. I had no idea candida was a yeast we were all born with. All right, y'all. I was freaking out. I was like, say that one more time. Let me write this down. Okay. Well, triplex changed my life. It really, really did. The pink drink kicked a nasty Diet Coke habit that I'm talking like 32 ounces, 3 times a day. My husband and I would argue about drinking water. He'd be like, listen, I will pay you $20 for every water you drink at this point. You better hit the curb, boo. There's a kid on his roof over here playing guitar. It's really weird. It's like a Hallmark movie. And we're like, why is that kid on the roof with the guitar? I live in a normal neighborhood. It's very safe here. It's just strange. Okay. Anyways, my kids are my son's like, that's totally not strange, mom, that you're just telling people that. But I digress, you guys. Oh my gosh. Here's the thing. It's been 9 years of learning a lot about myself and leadership, and accepting a leadership role that I didn't sign up for. Anybody else? Like, you're like, hold on a minute. I thought we were all getting skinny together. And then you're like, wait, sorry, can't say skinny. We're all getting healthy together. And then you get healthy and you're like, wait, I have a team of 100 people. I have a team of 300 people. I have a team of 500 people. 9 years later, I have a team of 10,000 people. What? I can only imagine. That's what Moses felt like when he was parting the Red Sea, and Jesus was like, listen, there's all these people that are going to follow you. Just do what I say, right? Okay, literally, that is what the Lord is calling you to do in this Plexus business. If you don't know Jesus, I'd love to tell you about him. But here's the thing. All these people started following my journey. And I'm funny. I know. Because when you're like the chubby friend for your whole life, and then you get kind of skinny, it's weird because you've deflected the humor your whole life. And so you're like, can I be skinny and funny? I don't know, but we're going to do it. So I lost 57 pounds when MetaBurn came out. I was living on top of the world, but let me tell you about what happened before MetaBurn came out. Right before MetaBurn came out in 2018, I lost half my business. That's why I made sure Andrea put that in my stats. Because here's the thing, you can get to diamond in 21 months. You can do all the things. It's so great. But if you don't have great customer service, retention, and you're not a great leader, people are going to leave. And here's the thing, they're also going to leave because you're not their boss. And they get, I call it shiny penny syndrome. I believe in picking a horse and riding it. Like, I'm sold out on Plexus. Like, I mean, we're the OG gut health company. Like, our superpower here is the triplex combo. No other company has that. They literally call Gene and Tarl and they're like, what is that? And how many have you seen imitating it over the last 10 years? I know some of y'all are new here, and I'm weird, and I get that. I'm not like most diamonds, and I'm okay with it. But let me tell you something. Triplex is our superpower. I love that they changed our little saying on the Plexus website that we are founded in gut health and the experts in microbiome. Listen, I didn't know what a microbiome was. I had to Google it. It's all right if you got to Google it too. But we are founded in gut health. And that changed my life. For my whole life, I chased skinny. I'm talking, I tried everything on the Walmart shelves, everything. I was going number 3. It was miserable. I don't recommend it until Plexus. It got me right. And I've been right postpartum. And my story became other women's story. And we had this team of military wives and women that were feeling good and chasing healthy and not skinny, but that didn't keep them because they did not believe in themselves and they didn't believe that they were in the right place at the right time. And they didn't have my belief. And I stopped sharing how much belief I had in Plexus because, you know, you get to diamond, like who holds the diamonds accountable, right? Well, that's kind of where I was, if I'm being honest. Not to mention I got pregnant with baby number 3. We, everything I said in my diamond documentary, we were actually doing. We built the dream house. We were paying off debt. Things that were just so remarkable and incredible. And I mean, we were considered millionaires. Our local paper, like, put us in the newspaper. It was just like this crazy thing. And I was 26 years old. 26. I didn't know what to do with that kind of money. Like, it was crazy. So the women in my life and on my team were like, let's go see if we can do this somewhere else. And it was awful. Awful. If you've ever had a customer quit or cancel, don't you take it personally? Let's be honest. We take it personally sometimes. Sometimes it has nothing to do with us. It's everything to do with them, okay? And I did. I would sit in my husband's lap and I would just cry. And I would curse Plexus and everything in it. And I was just like, I'm never doing this again. Ever, ever, ever. I watched my points go from 7,100 to right around the 1,450 mark. I had officially lost Emerald. And I was like, we just built a $800,000 home. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And my husband said, then quit. Go get a job. And I looked at him. Have you ever looked at your spouse and you're like, I'm not like crazy? I twitch like, excuse me? There's a lot of audacity coming out of that mouth. What? Like, I just like looked at him and he was like, quit. And he kept saying it. And I was like, starting to breathe a little bit harder. And I was like, okay, listen here, boy. Do you know what I went through to get here? Do you know my story? Do you know? And he was like, there she is. There she is. And I was like, oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Okay. Around that same time, so I watched my business. It was about a $13,000 pay cut, like just, and I watched that dwindle for about 3 months. My daughter was about 6 months old. She was old enough to go to the gym. So mama got a gym membership because I knew I was going to have to find new people. If the ones that were so awesome the first time left, I needed to go find some that were awesomer. And so I joined a boot camp with really no intention of working Plexus. I really just wanted to give my audience something to look at and watch because that's what your people need. If we're in the health and wellness industry, you don't got to be skinny. Girl, I got the biggest booty on this call. The point is, you got to walk the walk and talk the talk. You can't be telling people to take a probiotic if you're not taking one. You can't be telling people to hit 10,000 steps a day if you ain't doing it. So I needed to walk the walk and talk the talk. And so I signed up for this body boot camp. I literally walked in there and tried to walk out. And the coach was like, hey, what's your name? And I was like, of course, you're like a 20-year-old guy. You're single. You've never had a kid. You don't have stretch marks. So don't talk to me. I was like, bitter Betty. And he's like, come here. What's your name? And I was like, Emily Roberts. So he's like, I'm going to call you ER. And I was like, you're douchey. Okay. Hi. And he was like, ER, don't leave. Don't walk out the door. Don't walk in the door. And I was like, yeah, I don't belong here. And he was like, but of course you do. And it was the first time I had ever walked into a gym and someone addressed me by name. And he addressed me by name every single day for 18 months. Every single day. And something I loved about this coach is that he would start the class with like high knees and butt kickers and things that made me so sweaty. I just wanted to die. But it was okay. We're sweating for the Lord. And he would high five every single person in that gym. He made sure every single person felt seen. And I told myself, I made a mental note immediately. I was like, I'm applying this to my Plexus business. I'm going to make sure every person that comes in from here on out feels seen. I'm going to metaphorically high five them in my business to make sure they don't ever feel the way that I feel right in this moment. And so that's what we did. And we turned that ship around. Meanwhile, I get a message on Facebook from a girl that was like a level 7 and now she was a level 3 because of compression. She said, "Hi, you don't know me. We're going to be best friends and I'm going to run with you and I'm going to go Emerald." And I was like, okay, like everybody wants to go Emerald, duh. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, let's be real. I don't know you. Like, you look like a party girl. Well, what I didn't know was she had an incredible testimony. She did not know the Lord yet. She was actually in AA and recovering from alcoholism. And Plexus was keeping her sober. Plexus was like the first thing ever in her life that she was sticking to that wasn't alcohol. And she was a very young mom, and she's just gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Incredible weight loss testimony. I was like, hold on, that's you? And she's one of those people in the before and after, and you're like, are you sure that's the same person? She's one of them. Okay. And so she's messaging me, and she's like, we're going to be best friends, but real quick, I've noticed, and just so you know, I'm not going anywhere. So she says to me, and I was like, well, thank God. Like, thank you for telling me you're not going to another company or something. She goes, actually, no, I'm serious. We're going to be best friends. I'm going to run, but I can't run with you until you turn your light back on. And I said, turn my light back on. I was like, how you know my electricity's turned off? What do you mean? I'm just kidding. But she was like, Emily, you're so dark. You're not on social media, and you're not the Emily Roberts that people follow and come to for leadership advice and Plexus stuff, and like, turn your light back on. And so for like 2 weeks, she would message me once a day, turn your light back on, turn your light back on. And I was like, this girl, we're finna throw hands. She better stop telling me to turn my light back on. Does she know what I'm going through? My baby is 7 months postpartum. My belly is hanging between my thighs. Like, I ain't trying to do nothing for nobody. Leave me alone. I'm trying to get through this burpee and not puke every day from 8 to 8:30. Like, go away. Like, I was just in my own little Emily drama. Okay. So, Metaburn came out, changed my freaking life. I'm 33 with ADHD, as most of you have probably figured out. And Metaburn changed my life. It helped me with focus, helped me with energy. It helped me lose weight and burn that stubborn visceral fat, that brown fat cells that I had no idea I even had. And I would take it every day before the gym, and then after the gym, I would drink a lean shake for lunch. And then I would have another lean shake because I was a nursing mom and nursing munchies. Anybody, Andrew, you know. I would have another lean shake, and then I like the weight loss basics. It should be like the Emily Roberts bundle, because that was my life for 18 months. Stopped nursing when she turned 1, and not really like for selfish reasons. I just had like that finale, like that feeling of like, we good, we done. Because I couldn't nurse my boys. Like, it was, oh man, we weren't about that then. But by the third baby, you just kind of figure it out. Your tits are out all the time, and you're like, let's go. Like, you either, come on, baby, you want this or not. And my daughter was like such an angel. She was like the best baby ever. And maybe that's why nursing was so great with her. Maybe it was Plexus. I don't know. There's so many things. But when she turned 1, I was like, we're good. And I also noticed I had lost almost 60 pounds. And my before and after photos, people noticed. And I didn't come out of my house. Like, I was just like, we went to the gym and I went home. But that's it. I also was chasing around 2 toddlers. I had 3 kids under 5. And so that helped with weight loss too, let me tell you. Anyways, I started documenting this again, right? I'd been in Plexus already for 4 years. And here we were. It felt like day 1 all over again. And I was like, maybe y'all remember, some of y'all followed me for a long time. I did a Facebook Live and I cried. Like, I'm talking snot, Kim K crying through the whole thing. It was so embarrassing. I was like, I didn't even intend to cry. I was like, just so you know, like, here's where I'm at. I had my name dragged through the mud. The girls that left were not nice about it and told everyone I was an adulterer, and I like praised it. And like, I was like, that's my story to tell. That ain't your story to tell. And I was just hurt. And I was so ready for female friendships that were godly and purposeful and intentional. And I knew I was going to find them. I knew God would provide. So I kept praying. If anybody else wants to go, Lord, let them go. And if anybody wants to show up, let's go. Well, the girls in the gym, like, notice Emily Roberts with her light back on. They start adding me as a friend on Facebook. We're going. And so from the end of 2018, and actually, no, so Scarlett was 1. So it was now 2019. From the end of 2019 into 2020, I'm like, let's go. Plexus rules. And then the whole freaking world shut down. What? So I'm thinking, here we go again. Everyone's going to quit. This is going to suck. Everyone's going to be stuck in their house playing Uno for a year. Like, what are we going to do? And actually, what happened, and some of you joined in 2020, I'm sure, it was the best year Plexus has ever had historically. We grew astronomically that year. We hit 1 million ambassadors that year. Like it was just crazy. And I went from going diamond and, 21 months the first time with a bunch of senior golds, 2 senior rubies, and a handful of silvers. This time I ranked diamond with 9 jewels. 9, including my husband. My husband lost his job on a Monday, went emerald on a Friday. Talk about a team of new people that were like, let's freaking go. We love the Roberts. We're here for it. We're going to go emerald with you. Like, well, let's go. And I'd never seen anything like that. The culture, the friendship, the community. And the reason why I share this story with you is because it's like the ultimate comeback story. And it's my reality. I've been in the trenches. I've watched my paycheck go from heck of a lot to like not much. Still a blessing, but not as much as it was. And I've kind of decided, like I'm not going to ride the emotion, but I'm going to commit to the outcome. So I want you to think right now, what do you want in your Plexus business? Like the first thing that comes to mind. You can put it in the chat because I can see the chat. Like the first thing that comes, like, what do you want right now? And then the second thing I ask is this realistic? Is this a realistic goal that can be achieved in the next 90 days? Ask yourself that. Think about it for a second. I'm going to pick on someone. Let's see. Allison Edmonds. I see your little face bubble. Allison, what rank are you? Put it in the chat. I'm going to read your comments. Okay. Once I know her rank, I'm going to use her as a little example. Silver. Love it. So if Allie wants, you go by Allie or you go by Allison? Can I call you Allie? You can shake your head, yes or no. Yes? Okay. All right. Allie wants to go senior gold in 90 days. She's silver ambassador. So if Allie wants to go senior gold in the next 90 days, this is what I did, just for the record. Like I had to tell my brain, this is what I want. This is what we're doing. Like, don't talk me out of it. You have to tell your brain that, because your brain is an organ that wants to protect you. That's what God designed, but it's an incredible brain, and you have 16,000 thoughts a day. And if you're not holding those thoughts captive, guess what? You're going to have 16,000 thoughts against you. But if you retrain your thoughts, you create new thoughts, and you don't let them be powered by feeling, but you fuel them with passion instead, Allie's no longer going to be silver. She's going to go diamond because she's like, let's go. And senior gold will happen in the next 90 days, which we're going to pop out in just a second. If you have ADHD, guess what? You have double that. You have 32,000 thoughts. Lucky you, lucky me, I know. Anyways, my poor husband. Anyways, so you have to retrain your thoughts. So Allie, I'm sure, is thinking, Emily Roberts, you are crazy. I don't know. I'm just making up words right now. But she's like, you're crazy. I can go senior gold in 90 days. Of course you can. Of course you can. And here's how you do that. When you go senior gold in 90 days, for example, let's pretend we're not building businesses. We're all training for a marathon. If I'm training for a marathon, which is running, by the way, what do I need to do every single day to train for my marathon? Go ahead, drop it in the chat. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Run. And of course, there's going to be like at least one day a week where when I'm not running, what do I need to do? Rest, right? The same exact thing needs to happen in your business. You need to increase your current rest, because I guarantee you some of y'all ain't resting. You need to map out the goal and give it a deadline. That's why I said 90 days. That's like, what's 90 days from now? Let's see. It's August, it's September, October, November. So November, whatever today is, 14th. So November 14th, Allie's going to be senior goal. That's her deadline. Her brain now knows we have to do this thing every day before November 14th gets here, or we're not going to hit the goal. And then your brain's going to try to talk you out of it. You're going to be PMSy. You're going to have someone quit. You're going to have a spouse that's like, show me the money. And you don't really have that yet. Those things are outlying forces that are, they're going to happen. Those are outcomes to you making new moves. And your brain's going to see them and hear them and be reminded of them and kind of freak out and be like, oh, I told you. And you're going to say, brain, November 14th is the deadline. We have work to do. We have to run if we're going to run in the marathon. What is the one thing Allie has to do every single day if she's going to get to senior gold? Anybody? Drop it in the chat. Give me a guess. No wrong answers. One thing. What does Allie need to do to get to senior gold in 90 days? Share her story. IPA, show up, believe, eat healthy, duplicate, reach out. Okay. The closest one that I was going to pick was Ashley's, reach out. She has to have new conversations. My husband's favorite thing in this business is constantly remind me it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game, which he's super logical. Don't listen to him. I hate when he says that because it takes the relationship out of it. However, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. Think about your business right now. How many people have you talked to? For those of you with a little bit more established businesses, when was the last time you got someone in silver? If you are not being held accountable, if you are not holding someone accountable, what are you doing? What are you doing? If your goal, your current goal doesn't have an action plan behind it with a deadline, what are you doing? Those little IPA worksheets and wishing people happy birthday, that ain't going to get you back to your rank. That ain't going to get you to the next rank. You have to make a deadline. And so that's what I did. And that's what I keep doing. I also hired a business coach. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, you can. But I needed accountability. Like I said, when you get to Diamond, who holds you accountable? Right now, I'm holding your leader accountable. She's like, Emily, hey girl, I see you on the leaderboard. Help me out, right? Like, and it's okay to ask for help. Don't shame yourself when you feel like that's what you need. Of course you do. We're moms, we're sisters, we're wives, we're teachers, we're workers, like whatever. We got a lot of things happening. We have 16,000 thoughts in our brain. Of course we need accountability, right? So I asked for help and I was told to put the number one thing that I want to happen in the next 90 days. So I don't know where Allie went. I don't see her face anymore. But for Allie, going from silver to senior gold in the next 90 days is absolutely possible. So once you have the one thing that you want in the next 90 days with the deadline, you're going to break it down into 5 bite-sized pieces. These are 5 action items that you're going to do every single day for the next 90 days. And here's the thing. Here's what I love about this. So many of you have been doing IPA, or maybe you occasionally talk to someone at the school or the gym or the church or whatever. Be sold out for your goal and plan. Do nothing else. Netflix ain't paying you bills. It'll be there in 90 days. Bachelor reruns will be there in 90 days. If not, you can probably rent them on Amazon. I don't even know. I don't watch TV. You have to commit to the bite-sized pieces for the next 90 days. Honestly, reward yourself. Your deadline is in 90 days, but also be like, girl, we're going to buy that Gucci bag in 90 days because we're getting a pay raise. We're going to go on vacation. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Whatever that looks like for you. Okay? Maybe reward yourself with a Netflix binge, but hit the goal. And here's 2 things that I had to do first was 1, show my brain evidence that I can trust myself. That means I say I'm going to do something and then I do it for at least 21 days. Does anyone want to guess what I had to do for 21 days to remind my brain, I trust you, you do the things that you say you're going to do? Does anybody want to guess? Brianna probably knows. I feel like you follow me enough to know what I did for 21 days. What did I do? I made my bed every single day in 2018. And I still do 5 years later. Even if my husband's laying in it, I'm like, get your out the bed. I'm making it with you in it or without. And he's like, oh my gosh, woman. I'm like, we got stuff to do. And if I don't, like, literally now my brain reminds me instead of forgetting. Like, anybody feel forgetful all the time? It's because your brain has too many things. You're not giving yourself deadlines. They're not on your calendar every day. Okay, so the first thing I did every day was make my bed. Actually, that's the second thing. The first thing I did was put it on my calendar. Anything, laundry, make the bed, reach out, follow-ups, mail the samples, make the posts, content, whatever it is that I wanted to accomplish, lose weight, do a reset, car wash. I mean, anything I want to do, write a chapter for my book. It was on the calendar. Go to bed early on my calendar. Did you know an extra 50 minutes of sleep, 50, 50 minutes, not a full hour, 50 minutes of extra sleep in one night boosts serotonin and creativity and endorphins and your melatonin production, all the things. You're going to sleep so much better. You're going to wake up rejuvenated and creative, and you're going to message me and be like, Emily, I just made 37 reels. You were right. You're welcome. Set a timer to go to bed 50 minutes. Take your sleep, Plexus gummy, take it 50 minutes before your normal bedtime and go to bed. And I promise you're going to see a difference in your rest and your recovery and then your productivity. And you have to put the things on the calendar. So Allie, who is going from silver to senior gold in the next 90 days. She's going to put on November 14th, are we senior gold question mark? But she's going to have it go off as a reminder every day on her phone. Senior gold question mark, senior gold question mark. And she's going to have her little notebook or whatever you do, planner. I'm not a planner person. I'm a notebook person. But I write down my 5 things. So number 1 was I need to talk to new people, at least 20 new people every day to fill my funnel, build my network. Right now, I'm re-entry gold. So that means Plexus allows you to sign up as your own level 1, and you get to go all the way to diamond again. So I'm in the thick of it with some of y'all right now. I'm a gold ambassador. Emily 2.0 is gold. Emily's trying to double rank this month. I'm trying to senior gold and ruby it up over here. I've been at 120 points for 2 weeks, and my husband's like, what are we doing? So I made Post-it notes. I went and I bought out the Dollar General. This guy's like, every time you come in here, you buy all the Post-it notes. Why do you do that? I'm like, because we have goals. And I need to physically see them. My brain needs to physically see them on my wall. My kids need to see them. My husband, because that's my accountability. And I need my audience on social media, because it's free content, to see that I'm working towards a goal and invite them to be a part of it. You can also, you can do it by numbers of orders. For example, if Allie wants to go gold this month, she's going to tell her audience, I need 17 orders. I need 25 orders, however you want to do the math. And she's going to write 1 through 17 on Post-it notes, 17 individual Post-it notes. And every time someone places an order, she's going to write their name on the Post-it note. It's content, social media content. People love a good countdown. They love supporting a friend. It's holding you accountable, right? So this is literally what I'm doing right now. So if you follow me on social media, I'm on Instagram at official Emily Roberts. You will see in my stories either me resetting, because that's what I'm doing this today, and pulling my Post-it notes down when my points change. And people are like, what is this? Like, is that weight loss? Like, what are we doing? And I'm like, let me tell you about Plexus. Let me tell you how Plexus pays cash for referrals. And it's starting conversations for me. I need 20 of them a day. That's goal. That's my bite-sized pieces. That's how I'm getting those 20 people. I'm talking about what I'm doing. The second thing was I had to look at my business. Who's working the business? Who has 100 PV every month? Who's open to sharing on social media? So my goal that I wrote down, so like Allie is get to senior gold in 90 days. Mine was develop 6 golds in 90 days. Because I knew if I helped 6 girls get to gold, that Scott would re-rank emerald. Because he has 1,100 points. He also went backwards recently. Anyways, and so I wrote down their names. I reached out to each of them individually. 2 of them ghosted me for like 2 months. It's fine. They're back and they're at it. But the rest of them are like, let's freaking go. Guess what? 4 out of my 6 are gold. And 2 of them weren't even on my list in the beginning. But because I'm showing up and I'm doing the things, I'm saying what I'm going to do, my brain is seeing the evidence, and now my people are seeing the evidence. So by outcome, I'm getting closer and closer to the outcome, the number one thing that I want to happen, which is 6 new golds. So Allie's number one thing that she wants to happen in the next, 90 days is senior gold. She's talking to people every single day. She's putting it in her calendar. She's making new content. She's updating people on her health journey. She's talking to people about the business, leading with the business. So my coach was like, Emily, what are you doing to lead with the business? Like, how do you do that? And I was like, deer in headlights. I don't know. I sent my diamond documentary, and she's like, that's not duplicatable. Your new level 1 can't send your diamond doc. That's not her. And I'm like, you're right. So I decided to put together a little 5-page PowerPoint, and every Friday at noon Central Standard Time, I do a 30-minute Zoom to highlight our business and how to go silver in your next 30 days, how to make $300 in 30 days. Literally every Friday, I have a different guest, silver, diamond, ruby, all different rates, ages and ranks, all the things. I just started doing it because why not? That's my job. Of course I want to talk about how to make money in Plexus. Like, that's what I do for a living. Do people not ask y'all? What do you do for a living, Joy? What do you do for a living, Elizabeth? What is Plexus, Jody? How do you make money in Plexus, Brianna? What are you doing, Amanda? And you're like, right? Does anybody else like freak out? I'm like, I post on social media. Like, sometimes I panic. So I needed to be clear, because here's the thing. You're avoiding this. You're avoiding your rank up. You're avoiding Andrea's message. You're avoiding the team page because you lack clarity. So what do you want? Has anybody ever seen The Notebook? Okay. Joyce is like, I know where she's going with this. I'm going to pull a Noah on y'all. What do you want? My best Ryan Gosling, like, I don't even know, impersonation. What do you want? Allie's all, it's not that simple. It's funny because that's her name in the movie. It's not that simple. Yes, it is. What do you want? It's not so hard. What do you want? So once you are clear on what it is you want and you map it out in 5 bite-sized pieces, you stick to those 5 chicken nuggets every day for 90 days. That is it. You are not doing anything else. You're not doing anything else. You're doing the 5 things that move the needle forward, and you are proving to your brain, I trust myself. I can achieve this goal. I am achieving this goal. Like for me, it was listening to a personal growth book instead of Morgan Wallen. Listen, y'all, I love me some Morgan Wallen. My husband's like, "Are you listening to Atomic Habits right now?" And I'm like, "I am." He's like, "Can I record this?" Like, I'm in shock. Like, Morgan Wallen not playing because I was filling my head with like, yeah, sure, great music, but I needed to fill my head and remind myself what I'm doing. I'm leveling up. I want other people to change their life. You guys, I want 10,000 points. That's what I wrote down. That was my big outcome. 10,000 points. It felt weird coming out of my mouth. It felt weird writing it down. It kind of made me nauseous because I was like, that's impossible. Anybody feel that way? You know, there's people in our company. I asked them. They showed me. I said, I need some inspiration. As I rebuild my diamond leg and I rebuild my re-entry and I do all these things, you just give me a little piece of like your best points ever. And she goes, I have a screenshot. I'm not going to tell you who they were, but she was like, I have a screenshot. She pulls it up on her phone. She turns it. She had 96,000 points. I didn't even know our back offices could do that. 9,6, and it was like 312, like 9,312. What the? Do that math. Do that math times 2.80 or 2.81. Our pay point was $2.81 last month. OMG. Go ahead. Somebody put that in the chat. And then the other person that was sitting behind her, I was like, and you? Like, you're like a 100-star diamond. Like, you just went on the yacht trip. Like, I'm just like so inspired by you. Will you, like, what does it look like for you? What was your best day ever? And she was like, my highest points to date have been 36,000. And I was just, I mean, I cried. I'm like looking at them, like, these are real life women I do life with. They have children, they have struggles. And I was like, are you for real? Like, OMG. And I'm watching their husbands like build multiple businesses and diverse their income even more. And it's like, it's available to us too. I hope y'all know that. It's available to us too. They're not special. They stuck to the plan and they kept changing the deadline because they leveled up the goal each time. Yes, a month. A month. Right? I don't know who that is, but it says Emily Roberts, biggest hype girl ever. And I love you so much, whoever you are. That's the best thing ever. Anyways, I share all this with you because I am unlearning bad habits and I'm learning so much about myself and that I can commit to things. I can have a great work ethic. I can go to the movies with my kids and come home and do a Zoom. I can pay off my debt again. We sold that house, by the way. We sold that house to start paying off debt. We lived credit card for 5 years. So, I mean, we had a lot to work with. Military life, we had no money. I hope I don't lose Wi-Fi. Anyways, my car is like, get out. It just turned off. Anyways, I just share from the heart. I know this is like way longer than y'all intended for it to be, but I hope that you don't just listen to me and you're like, good for you. Like, apply it. In 90 days, where do you want to be? Start doing those things every single day. You know, like, get with Andrea and be like, map this out with me. And so Andrea, from a leader standpoint, every Monday night for 30 minutes, I got on a Zoom, and the first night, 2 people got on. And I was like, this sucks. But you know what? And then I changed that thought. That was actually my reminder to get on the Zoom with them. So, no, my first thought was, this sucks. There's only 2 people on. And then I remember what Melissa Eichenhorst said from stage, the Star Diamond thing. Was anyone at convention in Nashville? She said 4 people to get on this yacht. If you believe in 4 people and you show them the way to Emerald, right? What if y'all all wrote down Emerald 2024? And every day and for the next year, you work towards that outcome. You map out the 5 things, and then you do that with your next newbie. And they're running to Fast Start Gold. I mean, like, think about that. 15 golds. You help 15 women Fast Start Gold, you're Emerald. And it felt so impossible to say that so many times. And then now I think that thought and I'm like, let's go. So now I'm not talking to just sick and tired and broke people. I'm talking to the chiropractor because I know her network's amazing. I'm talking to the principal at the school because she has 70 teachers at her school. I'm talking to big dogs. I ain't playing. I ain't playing no more. And I don't want y'all to play no more either. You got to go all in and believe in yourself for 5 freaking seconds. Okay? We're used to being told no. How many of y'all got kids? We say no and hear no more than anyone else on the planet as moms and women. Okay? So here's the thing. It's okay if someone says no. There are 7 billion other people on this planet, and you will get there. You will get there. And so I share this with you because back to 7,100 points. We're getting there. And I have that goal in sight. And my next time we talk, hopefully I'm at 10,000 points because that is my end goal. But like, here's the thing, you guys. We have to work together. This company's not going to hit $1 billion without us. And that's my superpower. Like, I'm like, we about to have some major bragging rights. Reset just won an award. Out of every freaking company on the planet, we won the #1 award. It ain't being talked about enough. Do a dang reset. I know the broth is gross. I'm aware. But you know what? Throw it in the trash and drink 2 milkshakes. Ain't nobody gonna know. But do the reset. Do the reset. Take your triplex. For the love, quit going and eating french fries at 11 p.m. and saying these products don't work anymore. No, honey. That's your cholesterol because of all the french fries you eating. So we gotta work for the products. We gotta work for the company to make the company better, to give ourselves like, I mean, y'all got an amazing leader that makes excellent marketing. Now market yourself, tell your story, and do it 5 baby nuggets every day for the next 90 days. And I guarantee to you at convention next year, you'll be on stage next to me as a diamond because you applied this. You didn't sit here and write in your little notebook and think about it. You applied it today, tonight. Yes? Yes, all like 12 of you that are, oh, there's 28 of you. Hey, everybody, there's new people on. So, oh, wow. I really need to start scrolling through this. I'm so bad at Zoom on mobile. Hey, everybody. Hi, Andy. Hi, Leah. Hi, Candace. Hi, Heather. There's Allie. Your bubble moved and I lost you. I thought you logged off. I was like, she's embarrassed. She logged off. But we found you. So Allie's going to go senior gold in 90 days, Andrea, because we just like put that out there. So she knows what to do now. She needs to get with you or whoever her upline is, and she needs to map out the 5 things she needs to do every single day that get you to senior gold. Okay?
I love you. This was amazing. You guys, just seriously, thank you so much. One of the biggest things that I took away was the joy that she found back in her business. And it was, I say, like, she turned her every day into content, because I know so many people struggle with what to put out there. And it's like, go join a gym, put that out there. We actually it was funny because over the weekend I was like, hey guys, go buy sticky notes. Let's make our sticky note goal. And you just said that. So everybody, we have content. Everybody that brought sticky notes, you're making your board. These, like, use what you're already doing. The reset, like, go get a reset, do the reset, find something to do and be joyful about it. And the biggest thing too is, like, trust yourself. Like, make sure that you are, like Emily said, like, that I can trust myself. And I think that's that's what stood out to me, because that is like where I'm at right now. I'm like, I've got to do these things so I can trust myself again, that I know that I can get back to where I want to be. And so that's just, it's simple, but we have to, like, it's hard, simple and hard at the same time, but we have to get over ourselves to do it. I love you so much. Thank you. Big. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Do you guys love that? Yeah. Amazing, right? Okay. All right. So we are going